Hola, my fellow physical therapy and physical therapy assistant students. My name is Gustavo Martinez, and I am the nominating committee chair of the APTA Student Assembly Board of Directors. It is my pleasure to introduce you and interview the candidates for the Director of Membership for the 2021-2022 Student Assembly Board of Directors. Candidates, please start by introducing yourselves.
Hello, my name is Devin Holleran. I am from Connecticut. I am a second year DPT student at Sacred Heart University.
Hi, I'm Sebastian Alderete. I am a third year DPT student at Ithaca College, and I'm from Miami, Florida.
Hello, my name is Eric Norman, and I am a third year DPT student as well, and I go to the University of New England. I'm originally from Minnesota.
Fantastic, y'all. Let's get started with this interview. And we'll start off with Devin. Devin, the question I have for you is, what are some traits that a good communicator exhibits? And how do you exemplify those characteristics?
I believe traits that a good communicator has are being able to effectively communicate with people and to get your point across, but also to be able to listen to others and to understand what other people are saying, because a conversation is going to be both ways. I think also that understanding that not everybody in a group is going to talk the same way or communicate the same way. So learning how to work with others and communicate effectively.
Thank you for that, Devin. Sebastian, my question to you is, what is the biggest barrier to demonstrating valuable membership? And how do you hope to overcome this challenge?
So I think the biggest barrier to overcoming valuable membership is being informed once you become an APTA member. I think the biggest way to overcome this barrier is by engaging with the APTA and mainly having the APTA engage with you once you do log into the APTA and become a member. I would like to see the interface just become more interactive with students once they enter the APTA by asking specific questions like, would you like to specialize in any of the specific board certifications? Are you interested in volunteer work? And I think through questions like this, we can get the students' interest and find out more about them and let the APTA engage them by encouraging and showing things that they would be interested in.
Thank you for that response, Sebastian. Eric, my question to you is, if another student asked you what palpable direct benefits he or she would gain from engaging in APTA and student activities, what would you answer?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that students can get, especially in terms of benefits from interacting with the APTA and a member. I think the first one is creating like a solid network of not only like fellow peers, but also just like friends who are also PT students. When you go to conferences or when you do these online Zoom calls, it can be really good to help prevent things like burnout, because even as students, we run into that a lot as well. So I think that's one of the first benefits that I feel like students can really take advantage of, is having that solid network. Another one I believe is giving yourself opportunities. So opportunities such as this, being able to be nominated for the student assembly, but also other opportunities like networking with professionals and getting yourself in that way as well. Another one would be going off of that, gaining mentorship, being able to be a part of a specific academy that you have a lot of interest in, and then being able to explore in that academy and get mentors in that area. That I feel like are really important is being able to help find like what that passion is you have in PT. Because I feel like we're all in the right profession, but sometimes we just don't have the right route in the profession. And so I think that's a really, really important benefit for students to take advantage of. And then lastly, just kind of a little side note is like, you get discounts off things, right? So, you can get free research articles. You can go to conferences with a little bit of money taken off of that expense. So you also get those benefits as well.
Thank you for that, Eric. All right. Second round of questions. We'll go back starting with Devin. Next question for you is, what is your plan to increase awareness of the Student Assembly across both PT and PTA programs that are not engaged at the present time?
So I've actually thought a lot about this, talking to my fellow classmates and seeing their perspective on what the APTA is and what the Student Assembly is, and finding that they don't really know so much about what the opportunities are and how to get involved. I think that it would be important to nominate someone at each program across the United States and make them kind of available to be kind of a liaison between us and their program as a leader. And we would relay information to them directly and then have them relay that information to fellow classmates. And the information that I would encourage them to relay would be things that we're working towards, advocacy efforts and events, but make it so that the students can understand why it would be important to them, why it's of value to them, make it in language that they would understand, and so that they would know why being involved is so important, being involved as a student and not just in the future as a clinician.
Thank you for that response, Devin. All righty, Sebastian. My next question for you is, if elected, what strategies will you employ for educating students regarding the importance of involvement within our professional organization?
So the main strategies I plan on bringing to the organization are just hosting events, informational events on what the APT has to offer. Another strategy I wanted to implement was getting schools around the nation to put out what organizations they have on campus and see how those organizations resemble other organizations among other schools. So like Ithaca College, we have Sacred Heart University here. We got all types of schools, but I don't think we all know that these organizations at our school are similar to ones that are at other schools. So I think a big part of getting everyone to get engaged and informed is knowing what we have with our own resources and then branching out among the nation.
Thank you for that response, Sebastian. Eric, my next question to you is, how would you encourage students to maintain APTA membership after graduation?
Yeah, I think that's a tough one because life definitely gets in the way of being able to keep that up and staying engaged and whatnot. But I think there's a few things that are really important that add value to APTA membership and engagement after graduation. And I think the first one is keeping in mind our present and future patients that we're going to be interacting with. So as clinicians, we should be staying most up to date on evidence-based practice and all that great stuff. And being a part of the APTA really gives you that access to keep that continuing education up. And then that's going to further affect how well you treat your patients down the road and how well you can treat your patients right now. So I think most importantly is encouraging students to stay engaged because it's for the benefit of your patient or of your future patients. The next one I think would be around this whole idea of burnout. So I feel that engagement and your membership in the APTA and creating these networks and creating solid friendships and all that stuff, it energizes you. It really helps bring out your best. And I feel like that really helped reduce burnout rate within the profession. And then lastly is, as a profession, if we're going to keep this change going to where we want to look, like we just had this is our centennial year, and we've done so many great things so far in the first 100 years, but looking down the next 100 years, where do we want to be? And for that to come to light at the end of the tunnel there, we need to keep up this engagement and keep advocating for the profession and keep moving the profession forward. So I think those three things are very valuable and meaningful to people to keep up that APTA membership and engagement after graduation.
Thank you, Eric, and thank you, Devin and Sebastian, for all your wonderful answers, and for allowing this time for students to get to know you. But before we wrap up, and so student members can get to know you a little bit more, I want to ask you all three a fun question. So we're going to go around the same again in the same order, and we're going to answer this one question. And the question is, what is your favorite ice cream flavor?
I am an Oreo girl through and through.
Gustavo, I think this might be the hardest question you've asked so far. Huge ice cream guy. So I also love cookies though. So I would have to go with cookie dough ice cream with a sprinkle of like some chocolate chips on there.
Oh man, Sebastian, you stole my answer there. I think cookie dough is my number one for sure. And I had honestly maybe put like Oreo ice cream like number two. They're just, I don't know, so good. Anything, any kind of cookie, put that in ice cream, it's gonna work out well.
I like this group. That's similar to what I got. I get that Blue Bell. I think it's two-step or something. Two-step Blue Bell. That's not that bad point undergrad. So really enjoyed it. No, thank you guys. And to fellow students, watching on replay, thank you for joining us in this interview. These are the candidates for the Director of Membership for the 2021 and 2022 Student Assembly Board of Directors. All student members are able to cast their votes between October 7th to November 6th on the candidate webpage found on apta.org. Thank you all again for joining us. Till we meet again.